Hey everybody, Jay the Fish Guy here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about some of my fancy guppies. If you guys have been following along at all, you know I have some kind of oddball guppy babies that I'm just not quite sure what they are, and some of those batches are finally maturing and growing up. If you happen to be a Patreon supporter, you saw me post a picture the other day of one of the males and how he's coming along and how he's looking, and I'll show you guys that today. But the problem was I had literally 30, 40 plus babies, and they were from two different drops, and it may even be more than that. There's quite a few babies in there. And what I'm trying to do, so I'm working with, I'm not going to call it a new strain, but I'm working with this mystery strain. I really don't know what it is. I don't know what the genetics are like. You know, the only parents I have to go by are the females that ended up having the babies. So that's not really a good indicator, obviously, of what the males are going to look like, and it's kind of hard to tell what's really going on there as far as tails and colors and things like that. So I have to kind of break things down, split things up, and that's what we're going to talk about today, and how to really not so much purify the line, but just try to see even what you're working with. So instead of one tank with just, you know, 40 plus babies and different stages and different growths, and if you wait too long, then they start interbreeding with each other and you don't even really know what you have or what you're working with. So that's part of what I'm doing today. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here we have the biggest and the best males I have going so far from this batch. They're still technically sub-adults, you know, they have their colors, you can obviously tell they're a male, but their tail size and their true, you know, final adult colors probably won't kick in for another month or two. But with that being said, they have some really good colors, they got some interesting patterns going on, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they grow up and what they grow into as far as their final shape and color. You can never appreciate the metallic colors on camera, but you know they really do look amazing. Alright, so what did I end up doing? I took one tank that was just chock full of different ages, different sizes, and I kind of split it up into two. The first tank has the biggest and the best of both male and female. So I took all my bright, colorful males, which I think ended up being 5, and my biggest females, and I put them in the first tank. The second tank has all the younger ones, or the ones that are taking longer to mature. So this I would consider a first step towards kind of selectively breeding this line. You know, right now I'm limited to the ones that are already maturing, so that's why they get their own tank. They can actually start breeding probably here pretty soon. The males are definitely ready. The females are probably close to being of size to start thinking about it. And I'll just let that tank kind of do its own thing, and we'll see what they end up doing, what colors they end up throwing. The second tank, same thing. I'm going to let them start to mature. I'm going to see if there's any different colors or different patterns that present themselves. And, you know, if nothing too crazy or too special comes up, I'll probably end up selling them off and keeping just the first tank. And the idea behind that is I only have so many tanks, and I'm working with, oh geez, I think 8 different color strains right now. So as you can imagine, you know, when you're starting to split them up into different tanks and you have 2 or 3 tanks devoted to one color strain, you're going to start running out of space pretty quickly. But, you know, you probably don't have to. You know, I see a lot of people that'll just keep them all in one tank and let them keep breeding and just, you know, pulling babies and selling babies and this, that, and the other thing. And that's all well and good. I don't have anything against that ideology of, you know, raising and breeding fish. But in my mind, I'm being a little more OCD about it. You know, I'm making sure that the babies, so this would, you know, the babies from these will technically be an F2 generation. I don't want them breeding with the F1 parents. As soon as they have babies, I'm going to end up separating them out, letting them grow up in a different tank, and seeing if the colors hold true, if the tail shape holds true, and to just see if I'm, if I have a pure strain or if there's a lot of kind of mutt genetics going on in there. So again, that's just my choice, but it's more work, it's more tanks, takes more time, so I'm easily another 3 to 6 months out before I can say definitively, yes, this strain breeds true, and start confidently selling the babies as, what you see is what you get, and this is what they will look like, because this is what the parents look like. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, and this is again only one strain I've been working with. I have another strain that is kind of a mystery strain. They're more of a pastel colored. I have a couple other ones that I feel pretty confident that they should breed true, but it remains to be seen whether that happens. But anyway, so multiple tanks for what I'm doing is kind of the way to go. I really just want to make sure that these guys, again, are going to be what they're supposed to be as far as if I end up selling them as something specific. And we'll see. What do you guys think? Do you think they're a cool-looking guppy? I'm a lover of all fish, and I'm not really too much of a guppy snob in the sense of, purebred, this strain, that strain, what have you. If it's a cool looking, color pattern and, they have a nice looking tail, I think they're all pretty. But, in this day and age, everybody wants something that's named, you know what I mean, a specific thing. Like the nebulous steel guppies are obviously a big thing right now. Everybody loves those. And when they buy them as nebulous steel, they have a certain expectation of what they're going to get and a demand for it. So I'm just curious to see if if I get these guys to end up looking pretty good, am I going to have to come up with a name? Is somebody going to tell me that they're a specific type anyway? I just don't know, and that's kind of part of the fun for me, is that there's not too many things these days that are in the fish world are, I'm not going to say a mystery to me, but new and different and exciting. But this for me, this is one thing that kind of falls into that category, that it's been a lot of fun to play with, and because it takes time and you're waiting on multiple generations to grow out, that adds kind of some fun to it as well. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you're not a subscriber, please click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one.